Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop opinions because Squid Game is going downhill.
oh my
1. Squid
gosh.
Game
I
Season
just
2 was
finished
unwatchable. It's what
watching Stephanie Sue cover the real Squid Game.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
It is
happens when a
crazy.
thought-provoking series collapses
Those people
entirely,
had no
leaving
justice.
nothing but a frustratingly superficial story. The first season's brilliance lay in its ability to balance brutality, social critique, and poignant character arcs. But Season 2 stumbles in nearly every area that once defined the show. The most egregious failure of Season 2 is its lackluster game design. What made Season 1 shine was its ability to reinterpret childhood games with deadly stakes, turning nostalgia into pure dread while layering the games with
I
thematic
mean, we still okay. We had like the iconic game, Red Light, Green Light, and but we were introduced to new games too as well, and twists for those games. I think the scariest game that we saw that was new was when they're in the middle and you
The
have to
rooms.
run in, yeah, you have to run in pairs, like they say six, and you have to run six to a room. That one was so brutal. It had me to the edge of the seat, and I wanted it to be over so bad.
depth. Season 2, by contrast, feels as if the creators
I don't
phoned
think
it
there
in
was
during
another
their
game for season one that made me feel that way. That one I wanted it to be over so bad, because that was like, damn, like,
That was ruthless.
yeah, it was
It was
ruthless. It
ruthless.
was
Yeah.
so ruthless.
lunch breaks. Take Red Light Green Light 2.0. It's essentially a watered down rerun of the original, but with none of the tension. The first season's version had meticulous pacing, where even a blink felt catastrophic. This time, it's just rehashed filler, and the second game? It should have been a thrilling multi-phase gauntlet of strategy and betrayal. Instead, it's a chaotic mess with inconsistent rules and zero emotional stakes. The genius of the first season was in how each game revealed the character's psychology under pressure, making every loss feel like a tragedy. Season 2 forgets this entirely, treating the games as generic action sequences devoid of narrative weight. It was giving Mr. Beast minus the shouting. Then we have the characters, from complex humans to empty vessels. Season 2's characters are a shadow of their former selves. Gi-hun, once a layered flawed protagonist, is now little more than a plot device for delivering forced social commentary. His so-called transformation into an anti-capitalist Avenger feels completely
Honestly,
unearned.
his character kind of annoyed me a little because he walked out with all the money, so people died, and he cashed out all the money. Because if he didn't want the money so
That
bad,
is
then
that.
don't
Yeah,
win.
yeah. That is
And
long.
then for him to say, I'm gonna spend every last dollar to try to end the game of these people that's so much more powerful than him, and he doesn't even bring this to authorities. Like
Mm-hmm.
he thinks he's just mightier than God himself. It was a bit annoying.
His smug moralizing clashes with his previous characterization, making him insufferable rather than inspiring. And honestly, why should we root for him anymore? The guy had a chance
Yeah.
to escape the horrors of the game, but willingly dives
Yes.
back in with zero self-awareness. And the front man? He was hyped as a mysterious antagonist in Season 1, but now he's reduced to a bland exposition-spewing caricature. His backstory, which should have added depth, is tossed in with all the care of a last-minute homework assignment. We're left with more questions than answers. Why did he betray his
Honestly,
brother? What are his
the
motivations?
front man, he don't care about, and he's a badass. He don't care. He don't care. Like he shot his brother in the first season, but left him unarmed. And I love the twist with the sea man that's been helping him kind of navigate, but not get too close to where the actual games are played. It's just the whole dynamic of the front man to the brother and the front man to the protagonist is quite interesting. I can't believe he shot the protagonist's best friend right in front of him, cold
Yeah, that was
blooded.
ruthless too.
I
Yeah.
was like, damn.
The show never bothers to dig deeper, only reducing him to a generic villain figure. And let's
I
not
just wish
forget the
more
glaring absence
episodes.
of certain key characters from the original.
Yeah, it definitely needed more episodes, and I didn't like the ending too. How it left on
Yeah,
a
I know. I
like
need a resolve.
to be honest, it didn't give like a season ending. It gave like how Netflix does part two, like
Yeah,
they do part one and then like 3 months later part two comes through.
yeah,
This what it gave. It gave like end
yeah,
of part one, part two coming through. Like to end
yeah.
the season like that, that is a bad ending for a season.
Cast, Sang-woo's betrayal, Si-byuk's vulnerability, and El-nam's hidden malevolence grounded the narrative in emotional stakes that Season 2 must now scramble to replicate, without a similarly strong
You want to hear a
ensemble.
twist? The twist is, remember the old man from season one?
Right?
He is actually the father of the front man, and he's maybe somehow related to the protagonist. It may be a missing sibling here. They're all
That
related.
do you know that for a fact or that's
No,
just a
this is just
conspiracy?
this is a conspiracy.
Oh,
We all just
The
talking
show
here.
risks losing its emotional impact,
And
especially with
you
that
know,
tedious pacing.
who the old man could possibly have been married to? who's his
Okay,
wife,
move on. Move
the old
on.
lady. They
Each
say let's
episode built
just
upon the
talk.
last, escalating the stakes and tension to a near unbearable crescendo. Season 2, on the other hand, is an unbalanced slog. The first 3 episodes are bloated with exposition, meandering subplots, and
Did you
long
guys
winded
watch the
monologues that
Squid
add nothing to the
Games?
story. By the time the actual games start, you're too bored to care.
I'm just confused why we talk about Squid Games in the K-pop
I
channel.
don't know.
The season also suffers from a structural identity crisis. Is it a revenge thriller? A
I guess
dystopian
because
morality
TOP
tale?
was on
A
it.
political drama? It tries to be everything at once and fails at all of them. Instead of focusing on what worked, sharp
You
biting
know what was
commentary on
missing?
societal inequality.
We didn't from season 1 to from season 2. We didn't see the Watchers.
Oh, I forgot. But yeah.
And
I
you
forgot
want to
about
hear
them.
the twist?
Mhm.
The twist is the reason why they didn't need to
Again,
have
are you
Watchers.
telling me the facts or just
This is
But
us
then-
talking.
oh.
No. But I want to share with everyone what we've been talking about.
Okay.
The
Well,
twist.
when you say the twist, I think it's real.
The
bro.
twist is the Watchers
Bruh.
is us. Cause you see how we just ate up in America Squid Games. We start to dress up in Halloween.
You need to get off your TikTok, okay?
Okay.
Quality. It opts for cheap thrills and convoluted conspiracies. Then there's the themes. The first season's genius was its subtle yet scathing critique of capitalism, class disparity, and human nature. Season 2 faces the challenge of continuing this critique without resorting to heavy-handedness. The message is no longer thought-provoking. It's just loud and empty. The original explored how people are reduced to commodities in a system designed to exploit their desperation. It did so through intimate personal stories that made viewers question their own morality. Season 2, however, risks losing this intimacy by focusing too much on the mechanics of the games or the conspiracy behind them. Take Gi-hun's crusade against the game's creators. The show tries to frame it as a heroic stand against systemic injustice. But it's hard to take seriously when the narrative itself undermines its own critique. For example, the VIP subplot who meant to represent the corrupt elite remains as
That's
cartoonishly
what we're talking
one-dimensional
about, right?
as ever.
Mhm.
These characters aren't scary or threatening, they're just embarrassing. Even the idea of the game as a metaphor for society's cruelty feels diluted. Season 1 explored moral dilemmas, alliances, and betrayals in a way that forced viewers to confront their own ethics. Season 2 skips the moral complexity altogether,
Yeah, she's right about
replacing it
that.
with generic good versus evil tropes. Next up, visuals and direction. Visually, the show still looks great, bright, colorful, and meticulously designed. But that's about all.
The front man, he allowed the people to choose to do good, and it was kind of annoying to see them like willing to continue on with the game when they could easily just decide to walk out. But I don't know if they could truly had walk out.
All it has going for it. The cinematography lacks the creativity of season 1, where every frame felt purposeful. The iconic set pieces of the first season are replaced with uninspired arenas that fail to leave an impression. The visual spectacle is there, but it feels hollow without the emotional resonance to back it up. Now let's talk lazy writing. The season's
I think the
complete
reason
disregard.
that is because I don't know if you heard of this, but the budget to create and develop Squid Game, the movie, was crazy. Like it's a lot of money to develop these sets. So I think since they already know they're a success, they said we don't gotta go that hard.
For narrative coherence, subplots are introduced and then abandoned without explanation. What happened to the cop Wong Joon-ho after his dramatic showdown with his brother? Why is there no follow-up on the hints of a global conspiracy behind the games? These dangling threads aren't intriguing, they're lazy. Even the big twists.
I think they're saving those for season 3, I guess, because as I said,
Season?
I don't know, but they left because it just felt like the season 1 wasn't finished. And second of all, like, since when do we have 7 episodes a season? What kind of fucking number is 7?
That's crazy. At
We
least
ha-
make it longer.
Not even that. Is be 7. I've never seen a TV show with, and I watch a lot of TV shows.
At
Never
least
seen a
10.
TV show with 7. I've seen with 8. I've seen with
8?
6.
Hey.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of TV shows have 8 episodes. I've seen 6. Shit, I've seen miniseries with 4. I have never seen an odd number like 7. Never. 7, 9. I've never seen 9. I think at 10, 11, 12, yeah, that's more common. Like after once you hit 10, then odd numbers start popping up. But 7, I've never seen a TV show with 7 ending with 7. When I saw 7 issue on the 7th episode, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It just
It was kind of sad.
that was just such an awkward way to end it.
Which should have been jaw-dropping moments fall flat because they're either painfully predictable or completely nonsensical. When a show starts relying on cheap shock value over well-earned surprises, you know it's in trouble. Overall, Squid Game Season 2 recycles its ideas in the most uninspired way possible. The games lack tension, the characters lack depth, and the story lacks focus. 2.
Anyway, so I just think she went too hard on it. She was like, "Oh, it's unwatchable." At least that's what they have. I don't think it's unwatchable. Did it live up to the season one hype? No, but it's very the season one set the bar so high,
Well, it
it's
had to.
almost unreachable at that
Well,
point.
no, it had to set the stage because you're getting to know a new story. So it had to go in how it's supposed to go
No,
in.
I know, but I'm just saying the season one was so good that it's
Uh,
almost impossible to reach it again.
I disagree.
So like it's very rarely that the TV shows that come up with a fire season one,
Everyone's talking about
yeah, that they get to season two and it's even better than the first one.
Netflix original.
It's very rare that that has happened before, but it's so rare. Usually how it happens, and you can look at the ratings of most of the TV shows, first season is the peak, then it starts every season it starts losing a little bit of viewers, and eventually it reaches a point where it gets discontinued because it lost a significant chunk of viewers.
Mm.
That's just the path, natural path of most of the TV shows. So
What would you rate the first season?
10,
Second season?
I'd give it like a 7, 8.
Uh,
To me it was a little flat, but and I didn't like that ended
I
on the
think,
ending, but
yeah, I think 10 because it's a classic. It's going to be a
season
classic, the
one was a
first one
classic, I agree,
classic.
yeah.
Two, season two, I'm thinking 8.5.
Yeah, this is a 7, 8
Because
years.
it sets up three. It's just, I wish I already
It's a
had three
to
available to
to
watch.
me it's a decent season. I have no I To me I think she was too harsh on it. I don't think it was that
Mm,
bad. I think there's stuff to criticize, but
you know,
I'm sure I could find something to criticize on the first one too.
I kind of wish that it was a ongoing, like it kept going. Like this is like a show I would want like many many seasons on.
So we wanted to be a telenovela, 150
Yeah,
episodes a season.
yeah, yeah, because it's so
They
good.
would
To me,
run
I
out of
liked
their
it. I
ideas.
enjoyed
Well,
it. No,
anyway.
there's many characters. What are you talking
Hmm.
about? That's like 256 combinations if you put it together.
Hmm.
Do the math.
Okay, back to K-pop. Hopefully,
Paved the way. This discourse has become such a tired, overblown argument that it feels like people are just using it as a weapon to gatekeep success or invalidate
Who
others.
paved the way
But
for
no single
what?
group or artist
K-pop.
can claim to have single handedly paved the way for an entire industry. The phrase itself is so loaded and reductive that it completely erases the complexity of how music evolves. It's not a straight line, it's a messy, interconnected web of influence.
This throws me back when who was it? Someone from Big Bang that said they helped pave the way, and then BTS got all mad.
No, it was Stray Kids. No.
No, I think it was someone from Big Bang, Taeyang. I
Oh.
think, yeah, I think it was Taeyang who said that he's happy for BTS's success, and that something along the lines that Big Bang helped pave the way paved the way with along
Mm,
with BTS, which we sat here and we said, yeah, it's true. That statement was very mild.
mm,
We don't understand what's the uproar about. But
I don't
BTS fans are like,
know.
no, BTS paved the way. So it
Honestly,
just kind of reminds me of that conversation.
to me, it should be easy to see who paved the way for K-pop because it was just recently like made. Like, how long ago was K-pop a thing?
Well, if you want to know, go back to day one. It was Psy
Psy was the first K-pop artist.
to pave the way in the West. Yeah,
Oh, so okay. So the question is, who paved
paved
the way
paved
in
the
the
way. I
West?
think when they say pave the way, they mean the West, worldwide. Yeah,
Oh, to make it worldwide?
yeah.
Oh, that's hard. That's tricky. Oh, I
Timing
don't
and
know.
opportunity. Did BTS pave a
Because
way?
one cannot go out
Absolutely.
with the
They
other.
broke barriers in the
Everyone's
global market that
important.
were previously unimaginable for a K-pop group. But does that mean they're the only ones who've ever paved a way? No,
Yeah,
groups like Big
nah,
Bang,
I
Girls'
agree.
Generation, 2 and
I
E1,
agree.
Wonder Girls, Psy, and even
It's a
first-gen
loaded
acts like
question.
BoA were laying bricks long before BTS even debuted. They didn't just pave a way, they built the foundation. Without their groundwork, BTS wouldn't have had the same
Yeah, it's like a house where everybody adds a brick to it, and
Yeah,
eventually it
yeah,
ends
that's
up being a
fair.
house.
launchpad
Then
to
what's the
catapult
goal with these questions? To get
Controversy, yeah.
the squads to attack each
Hmm.
catapult
other,
themselves into global
support
stardom.
your
And that's not a
faves.
knock on BTS. It's just the reality of how progress works. Success is cumulative. What's
Yeah,
frustrating is how this
exactly.
discourse has turned into a zero-sum game. If you say
Yeah.
BTS paved the way, suddenly it's like you're erasing everyone who came before them. If you acknowledge the contributions of earlier artists, some armies act like you're trying to downplay BTS's achievements. It's
Yes, they do.
exhausting. Why can't we just acknowledge
Yeah, it's not about. It's not even about BTS. Nobody's downplaying BTS achievements. BTS
Mm,
achieve what they achieved, but without Psy or people before them, helping to pave the way, Big Bang, BTS
Girls'
wouldn't be.
generation.
Yeah, Big Bang. I mean, BTS wouldn't be BTS. So it's just it's the same in
It's not a
every.
knock. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
not
not
a
a knock.
knock.
It's just this natural progression. We keep as a society, we get better and better. It's the same like
Yeah.
without Edison, we wouldn't have a
Thomas Edison
yeah, we wouldn't have a light bulb. Like
and light bulbs are very important.
yeah. So
Knowledge that multiple artists across different eras have paved different ways. Big Bang and 2NE1 paved the way for the idol as artist narrative, Psy paved the way for viral global hits, BTS paved the way for sustained global dominance, Blackpink paved the way for K-pop's
Then whoever, like, without light bulb we wouldn't have like TVs, we wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
computers. It's kind of like, so we needed that first one, like that minor detail of a big project to
Mm-hmm.
have that. So it's kind of
But
similar
when they
principle.
say who paved the way for television, they're not gonna say Thomas Edison.
Right, but without Thomas Edison we wouldn't have TVs
Yeah,
either,
they
because
just
there's
keep
a
it.
lot of light bulbs in the television,
It,
many light
the
bulbs.
thing is, you have to keep it within context.
Yeah.
luxury brand dominance and festival headlining. Everyone's paving something, and that's okay. And let's talk about
Exactly.
idols
Everyone's
themselves. When other
important.
artists say things like, "We paved the way," they're not necessarily trying to take credit away from BTS. They're just acknowledging their own contributions, which
Yeah.
they absolutely should. It's wild how some fans will jump
I
down
don't
their
know if
throats
they're
for daring to
allowed to
recognize
in
their
the space. It seems like it's a space that you have to keep your head down, be
Nah, you
humble.
you should be
You
able to.
should, but are you allowed to? Because everyone wants you to be humble.
Societal, like society wise, yeah, they do seem like they value
Yeah,
humbleness.
yeah,
own
I
hard
agree.
work. Like, do you think BTS would want their peers to downplay their own achievements just to appease a fan war? Probably not. The industry is big enough for everyone to have their moment, but fans are too biased to accept that. Even Bang Si-hyuk himself had previously made a comment on how Asia was very limited before BTS, which is a very dumb thing to say. Maybe he meant Korea specifically, but even then, it's a stretch. Asia has been a cultural powerhouse for decades. Japanese anime,
I'm not sure
Chinese
what he
cinema,
meant by that
Bollywood,
statement.
and even K-pop were all making waves long before BTS came onto the scene. BTS didn't introduce the world to Asia. They just added another chapter to its global story. Let's not rewrite history to fit a narrative. 5 Fromis 9 members have signed with a company called ASND. The label
Finally,
confirmed
some
that they are
news.
currently discussing the trademark for the group's name with Pledis Entertainment. I tried looking into this company to see if they have any other artists under them, but I found nothing. No online presence, no homepage,
Ooh.
no other artists, no registration info, no address, which is kind of weird. Even
So what is this company?
the smallest, most irrelevant companies usually have something online, even if it's just a bare-bones Naver page. The lack of any public presence makes it feel like ASND is a new label that popped up overnight, and Fromis 9 is their first and only group. This could
Or maybe the girls themselves formed the label and they just
Mm,
signed themselves.
go one of two ways. A smaller company focusing entirely on one group can sometimes work wonders. Look at what companies like RBW did for Mamamoo in their early days. But that's a big if. It all depends on whether ASND has the money, vision, and connections to pull it
Okay.
off. But if they're just winging it, Fromis 9 could end up losing momentum and marketability until it's too late for another company to pick them up
their
again.
name
The
is
trademark
just. I
discussions
wish they could change their
To be
name.
honest, I don't feel like they have a momentum, but okay.
with Pledis only add to the uncertainty. If they can't secure the group's name and catalog copyrights, it's going to make things more complicated. As for the other 3 members who didn't sign with ASND, it's really not that deep. It's normal for idols at this point in their careers to want to move on and focus on other things. 4. Jisoo seems to be the only one following a traditional K-pop rollout.
That's funny. We did talk about that Jisoo's doing the traditional way, and then you were
Mm.
complaining about it.
She recently dropped the schedule for her first mini album Amour Montage, which will be released on Valentine's Day. For the teasers, Jisoo is clearly sticking to the classic K-pop promotion cycle with posters, teasers, and potentially music shows and variety appearances too, unlike Jennie, Lisa and Rosie who went full-on Western mode. But I think we all expected this. Jisoo has always seemed like the one to cater
Yeah.
to the Korean general public,
Makes sense,
especially with her
yeah. To me, that makes perfect sense. She's a Korean act. Other girls in our international acts, she's like a straight up Korean. Others are like,
Mm.
you know, Australian Korean. Lisa's even not even Korean, so it makes sense they're going the international way.
her acting career. Considering how successful her solo debut Flower was, I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up surpassing the other members in Korea. What's also interesting is how close the Blackpink
Oh, in Korea for sure, yeah. I thought she was about to say worldwide. I wasn't know what, but
No,
in Korea definitely, yeah.
no. I think yeah, she's gonna be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
members are releasing music to each other. If you'd told me a year ago that Blinks would be overwhelmed trying to keep up with Blackpink's releases, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. The girls left YG at the same time, started establishing their own labels and began working on their albums almost simultaneously. Plus, with a Blackpink comeback later this year, it makes sense that they're trying to get their individual albums out quickly. What I'm curious about is whether these close schedules will affect their performance, as fans might get overwhelmed.
Okay, guys, that was really fun talking about Squid Games. It's very random. Let us know if you like that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.